Hi, my name is John.
And I'm Nikki, and we're the bosses next door.
Uncommon niche.
An uncommon niche. Tell me more.
Yeah. So an uncommon niche is why picking a weird problem beats being everything to everyone. Right? So most problems or most times I feel is you get into business and survival, right? So you're like, oh shit, I can do that. I can do this. I can do that. I can paint your house. I can wash your windows. I can do whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I know I was here to put cable in, but I can do everything. So I think the problem is you're going after the money instead of getting really, really good at that one or two things. So like I was on a walk and talk the other day for our landscape company, and something I don't do all the time, which I like. It's like one of my favorite things to do. But
Noted.
he's like, oh, can you guys just do grass? Can you do artificial turf? And even though there's really good money in artificial turf, also we don't. And I would not recommend somebody who does a bunch of other things. If they just do artificial turf, you have your best bet. And he's like, really? It's because we've seen so many yards that you're like, well, I got a little bit of a deal from the guy who does pools, plus he does this, plus he does that. And it just doesn't, the quality isn't always the same. It's not necessarily the installer's fault or the business fault. It's just repetition of being really good at what you're doing. Fair?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, saying that, I know a couple companies, one in particular that's not in business anymore, that went from landscaping and then became landscaping and pools.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well because they weren't specialists in pools.
Right. Or they try to shortcut it, right? So like we're in Arizona. Arizona and Florida have the two most demographic for pools, right? Everybody has pools. But I've seen multiple landscapers and I've seen pool guys, vice versa. They're like, oh, we'll do this. When we do the landscaping, we're going to do pools at the same time. The problem is that you're trying to take two completely different skill sets and you're trying to mash that all together to try to save a little bit of money. Whereas like there's a different way to go about it that I'm very confident one day we're going to roll out. But instead, they try to have the same guys learn two different types of skill sets. And I think that's really, really hard. And I just don't think that's the way to go about it.
Yeah. And that can be said in any industry, really.
Absolutely.
So as long as, you're narrowing down and getting really good at what you're good at.
Right.
That's the main thing. And I get why a lot of business owners want to throw a big net and we can do this and this and this and this and add all these things in. But then what is the saying? Like you're a jack of all trades, but a master of none.
Yep. Yep.
How good are you really going to be? Now, you could go out and find people that specialize in that, but then structuring that and streamlining that and then training, right? That's a lot. There's a lot of variables there that can cause a lot of headaches.
Absolutely right. And so like we own 3 companies, right? So we have a landscape company, we have a virtual office, like on steroids, and we have a software company, which is a CRM company we're going to come out and announce at some point in time. But to Nikki's point, every one of those businesses, when you talk to the field workers, right, that we have at Little John's, like we communicate with them way different than we do with CallBoss. There's a different type of employee. Not that one's good or bad. They're different, right? They have a different skill sets. And then you go to the software company and it's a different skill set, right? So like you have to know how to talk and manage at different ways. Is that fair enough? And so I think that all too often everybody puts everything in a pool, or like in a clump together, like, well, we just manage this way. No, like you have to figure out the type of employee that you have, how you can best communicate with them. And I think that's what makes you successful versus just having a hodgepodge, like everything fits under one umbrella.
Yeah, I think that's a lot harder way to go about it. So if we were looking at uncommon niches, how would people choose those? Like, would it be by passion, by profitability? Like, what are some things people look at to determine what industry they want to go into?
Like, I don't think you need to reinvent the wheel.
Sure.
But I think if you're just really good at what you do, you answer your phone, which I know that everybody says that now, but like Jesus Christ, when you answer your phone, it's amazing what it can do. What's your level of entry to get into it? So like we started a landscape company out of desperation, literally desperation. We had no experience. We didn't know anything about it. We just know that I got laid off my job and we needed to do something right now. And landscaping maintenance is a very low entry to get started. And we started with an LLC. There's a long story behind
That's
that.
in episode 1.
Yeah. But it's just a matter of like, we could get in it right now and we could make the biggest impact as far as like financially to ourselves. And then as we grew, right? So you grow, you have 17, 18 trucks, whatever we're at now. And I think now it's just a different game. But like we experimented all kinds of things. You know, we did installs at one time. We've done all kinds of pavers, and we don't do any of that stuff anymore. We do a small enhancement, but we realize what we're good at, and we just niched that down to like, this is what we do and this is why we do it.
Yeah, so I don't think either one of us in the beginning were passionate about landscape. It's not like we're like, yes, this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's the low entry point. It was easy to get started with that, and then we didn't no idea it was going to be as big as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think sometimes people are looking at profitability. How profitable is this service or this product to decide what they want to do? But then they have to get really good at it. There's a girl that I follow. I hate when I do that because I can never think of people's names. But she created like journals and calendar journals and things like that. And they have all these different things in this one journal where it's like listing your activities and listing your bills and all the things for the kids. And it's just like these really cool journals. But that's all she sells is journals.
Yeah.
And it's done really well. She started online and now it's in like Walmart or Target. I think it was Walmart. And it was just like that one thing she picked, but I feel like, and I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like she was passionate about having a journal that spoke to everyone.
Yeah. I think the other thing too, but good point. I think the other thing too, you need to be careful of, right? Don't look at somebody's success and be like, well, I want to do it because he does or she did this. Mm-hmm. I still remember Chase Coates. He was like, he'd be like, oh man, you're so lucky. You had that brand new shop, had all that new stuff. But he's like, man, it was 14 years or whatever it was like to get here. You didn't see the grind beforehand. And I think all too often we look at like what they have now and don't realize there's a massive foundation you have to put in there to make things happen.
A lot of time.
Yep. Like we talked to this morning. We have meetings 2 days a week with our outside guys. And I had a meeting. And the meeting, in the end of it, we have a guy that works with us, Jose, and his nickname is El Capitan. El Capitan started with us with starting our second truck. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, how much have we grown, El Capitan? And he's like, oh, like we grew a lot, And it's a good reminder for me and for the guys that are with that like there's a lot of bricks that had to be laid to get to where we're at. And so I think if you're going to pick a niche, I think you need to find something personally that you like to do or you see growth in the market. I think it's picking something that, unless you have a huge backing or a huge amount of money, get something that you can get into and get going right away. Because if you haven't had a business before, like you need it. Our first business was very hard. Our second business got easier. Our third one, now we partnered, right? But we see like where it needs to go. Like you're in school. When you own a business, you're in school. It's lonely. It's hard. It sucks.
Yeah.
But we're getting better and better and better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what business would you pick? If you had to start over.
Well, back in the day, I would have had a dance studio.
Right.
But after
knowing
teaching,
what you know now.
Knowing what I know now, I would not. After teaching for so long, I'm glad I didn't. There was one point where I was going to try to open many, many years ago. And I knew enough to know that I wasn't the best, but I would have to find the people that were to make it a success.
Yeah.
But the headaches with that type of business, right? With any business, there's headaches, and clients can be headaches. Yeah. Depending on what you're doing, you're going to have a lot of headaches or not so many headaches. Same can be said for landscaping with high-end homes where they expect everything to be done and don't care the price, but then if there's something that's wrong, they're very vocal about it. Then you've got some smaller homes where people are more paycheck to paycheck and they just want to make sure their yard looks clean and the HOA doesn't bother them, right? So you got two levels of clients that dictate how your day goes, basically. Are you going to have clients that are happy? Are you going to have clients that are upset? It just depends. So in saying that, if you know anything about the dance world and Dance Moms by itself, you can see why that clientele may not be what I wanted for my starter business, right? I thought so because I was passionate about dance. I mean, I taught forever and danced like my whole life. But that wasn't something that I wanted.
Yeah. So what would you pick now?
I like the direction we're going with the software. I don't know if we'll never not have a business. How about that? We've already talked about like, we'll always find something to do. I don't know what the next one would be.
Yeah. That's interesting. I think like if I start all over, knowing what I know now and started over, I would pick something that, landscaping is very interesting, right? And if you look at industries across the United States, landscaping companies, it's very interesting how they all operate. Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, like they all operate a little bit different, and I think that's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
And so I think like seeing all that, like I think for me is like, what product could I put out there that could go across the United States, could go globally, right? Like that's why we bought, that's why we're in the software company, because it can go big.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. So I think knowing what I know now, I would pick something that can scale. And I think technology is just amazing. I'm not the best at it, but I'd hire the people that are good.
Yeah. Well, we know that, right? Find
Absolutely.
the people that do the best work that can help us achieve the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing about the niche is like, you can't give up. Like, I think you have to market, get feedback. If you're getting canceled or people are quitting, take that as constructive criticism. Don't have an exit interview if you can. Find out why they're upset. And then if there is a pattern or there is a problem, go fix the problem. Because now you provide a better product. And if you provide a better product, then people aren't going to want to quit because you fixed the gaps when people told you when they were leaving.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. I think it's different between product and service, though.
Absolutely.
Like we've always done service based. Like every company is a service that we're providing to people. On one hand, it's like, okay, if we just had a product that we sold and maybe sold to stores or sold to restaurants or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gave it to another company to use, like you'd have to find that one thing and build enough following behind it so that people would want to buy it.
Yeah.
But then like, what are the other headaches if you go product versus service? Because, we're talking about niches. So if it's a product and you have that one product, what happens when it doesn't work like it's supposed to? Or, there's always returns. There's always things like that. So different set of headaches between service and product industries.
Well, even a service industry, right? Like finding something that everybody needs, right? That like what's the little thing nobody really thinks about, right? If you're like, dang, man, like people do use that. Okay. The walk and talks I don't do very often.
Sure.
A very interesting company, if you guys want to look up, is Planetscapers in California. Like they are awesome.
Shout out to Julie and team.
Yeah, man. So they like she's awesome. The husband and wife run it, but the wife is like the face of it. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. And she's got this big chandelier and big furry carpet in her office. Is like awesome. But like they do indoor plants, right? And they water them, and they have this it's just a neat business. I was on that walk and talk that I don't do very often in a nice house. Mm-hmm. They had people coming to their house to water all their inside plants. And I was like, man, this is incredible.
I knew that was a thing in the commercial space, but I didn't think about it in a residential space.
Didn't even think about it. Mm-mm. Yep. And he's like, hey, I think I have a plan to start. Her immediate reaction was like, awesome. I'll take a look at it and we'll have it replaced. I was like, that customer service wise?
At that house yesterday? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really cool.
But customer service wise, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Right? He just mentioned it. No problem. We got it. And she's not the owner. She was a worker. Because I asked. But yeah, I think that like those kind of like, just kind of a niche, right? Picking up dog waste is like, that was one that like took off like fire, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Not that I want to do that, but.
No.
But you know what I'm saying? I think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
No, it's for sure. It's a thing. I mean, even with CallBoss, we're struggling a little bit. Our niche has always been service-based companies, and it still is. But there are so many different types of service.
So many industries.
So many software systems. Like there's just so much. But what we're finding is we were very specialized in landscape to begin with because that's what we knew.
Yeah.
But now that we've branched out and we can help other service-based companies, our niche is service-based, right?
Absolutely. So great example. So we have a roofing. So we have several different industries that CallBoss answers for. Mm-hmm. And then we have a roofing company. They've done, I don't know, $300 million since like 2019 or something like that. Two owners. Very, very nice. Like very, very nice people. And he was saying that like they didn't have confidence when they answered the phone in-house. And when they brought CallBoss on, he's like, man, I confidently feel when the phone is answered, like, oh, it's going to be good. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, like, it's just, we're good at putting on roofs. We're good at giving estimates. We're not good at, like, and it was just interesting kind of him walking through that. And I always think of like, dang, how many industries are out there that are the same way?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can rabbit hole real quick, but there are so many industries out there where people are struggling just to keep their business going, but they don't have the support. And it's like, we're here. We could help you.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what we're always trying to do is present that out to the world, that CallBoss is available to help with those calls and those situations so that you can build your business and do what you're good at.
Right.
Stay in your niche while we help you with the customer service side.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yep. So yeah, pick the niche that's good. And the other thing too is like, don't have a club if you're in a town of 50 people, right? Probably not going to work out, right? Or don't do something that it has to fit the environment that you're in.
Was that your uncommon niche? Was a club in
Actually,
a town of 50 people?
I just listened to Alex Ramosi talk about there's like some like this guy's like, oh yeah, I have like X amount. He's like, what do you do? And it's something crazy. And he's like, how big's the town? He's like, 50
people?
He's like, you're in the wrong business, man. Like, you need to do something else.
There's not a lot of buyers when there's only 50 people.
It's like, well, they've got tourists. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to fit what your market can handle, right? And don't undersell yourself.
That's true. So if you're feeling like you're lost in the crowd, pick a niche that works for you and really lean into that. Today, tag somebody you know that's trying to be everything to everybody and let them know they don't have to. Dial it back a little bit, see what you can do to streamline and make it better, and CallBoss is here to help.
That's right. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thanks for joining for this episode, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.